Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Best in Show Books. I'm Shelby.
And I'm Gina.
We're here at Naughty Dog Books, an independent bookstore in Nashville, Indiana. And today we are doing a flyover, not really reviewing, I don't want to say that. We are doing a flyover of Goodreads' 144 most read books up till now. So about a month ago, they released a list of across all genres of books that their readers are reading.
It's fun to go through these lists and see what you've read.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, that wasn't on my radar.
Yeah.
Or it has been on my TBR for 6 months. And maybe now that I've seen everybody and their brothers read it, maybe I should move it up the list.
Yeah.
Because there was a couple of those. I'm like, I've literally had that on the list since it came out.
Yeah.
And maybe I should actually read it now. And there was a couple I'm like, why was those included? Like,
Very
that was
much
a little
so.
odd.
Yeah.
So especially the 144 most read for the year. Some of them I was glad was on there, but I was surprised that it made the list. I'm like, I wonder what caused that to shift from old to new.
Yeah. There's a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
So
Here we go.
let's get started. So we're going to start off the Goodreads 144 most read books with fiction. That's where they started. We're just going to follow the list straight down. The first book they had on there was The Wedding People by Alison Esbach. I've heard mixed reviews on this. Like, I have a friend who said it was okay, you know, but then someone in your book club told me it was just so moving and impactful. And when she described it to me, I was like,
oh, I
was
was
so moved by it. You know, it was very like passionate description. So a couple down, Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. That one, isn't that on your TBR?
It is. I really want to read this. I think it's going to be a heavier read than most people, because the cover has like a chest looking.
It's a good cover.
So yeah, it looks really light, but when you read the description, it sounds like it might be just a little, it's about grief and brothers and so how they handle things, but I still want to read it.
Yeah. Next, Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. And I have a fun little story about this. I went to a booksellers conference a few years ago with another bookseller here at the store, and the author, Shelby Van Pelt, was there. And we got in line to get our book signed. And if you don't know what the story's about, it's about a woman, and I think her son goes missing, and an octopus at an aquarium. And the octopus is like part narrator. And so we're in line to get our book signed, and I come up and I'm like, oh, she says, who can I make this out to? And I say, well, it's funny you should ask. My name is Shelby. And so she draws like this very cute little octopus. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. And I stepped aside, and then my friend went up and she got her book signed. No octopus, none. And my friend was like, oh. So I have a copy of this at home with an octopus doodled on the front page. And I just haven't read it yet because I do have kind of a weird thing about octopi.
Are you sure?
A couple years ago, even before that, there was a documentary on Netflix, and it was called My Octopus Teacher. And it was like very clean. So I watched it with my kids at the time who were little and just like excited to have the TV on and see nature, you know, and it was so moving and sad. The ending like tore me in half. It was so good. I highly recommend it, but I was like devastated. And then when this book came out, I was like, I don't know if I can read that because
we're going to get you a plushie of an octopus to be like your emotional
support. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm going to have to read it holding someone's hand. I don't even know if it's sad, but I feel like I don't know if I'm ready for it. A few down is Here One Moment by Leanne Moriarty.
I am so excited about this book. I love Leanne Moriarty books. What Alice Forgot is actually on the top list of my list of favorite books. So I love Nine Perfect Strangers. There's one about secrets and husbands. I can't even keep up with all the ones I've read of hers. This was a book that was also recommended by our reviewers. Yeah. And so I'm excited to get to this one.
Yeah. And I like, personally, Australian setting authors, the way, like that kind of, I like that.
Yes.
So that's probably going to be really good. Another Sally Rooney book, Normal People, which is older. That's also on here. Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver. I have not read this, but I am very eager to. Yes. It is an Appalachian retelling of Charles Dickens' David Copperfield. That's a lot of proper nouns altogether. Yes. And it looks so good and just such an interesting concept. And this is one that I feel like I haven't heard people say bad things about. Whether because people aren't attempting it, you know, and or if it's just that good. So if you've read it, please let us know because
it's a winner. It says so right here. It's a winner.
It's a winner. Yeah. Last on the fiction list is Hello Beautiful by Ann Napolitano. Have you read that one?
I have not. I actually really want to read this one.
Yeah.
I don't.
Another sad one. It's about grief and tragedy,
And that's
I think.
why I haven't read it.
Yeah.
It sounds so good. I've heard great things about it, but I don't know. There's just a stage of life where you're just not ready sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's the way it's been. So.
Yeah. And this fiction list was pretty unsurprising. You know, I
Yeah.
felt like they all made sense and
Yeah.
fit. But whether we think that about the following sections, you'll find out. All right. The next category is historical fiction. We're much more covered on this one, with the top read from Goodreads being The Women by Kristen Hanna.
Not shocking.
No, not shocking. And we discussed this a long time ago, many months
That
ago.
was like my February, might have been my quarter 1
Yeah.
book.
Mhm.
Yeah.
A
Somewhere
long
in there.
time ago. We
Yeah.
discussed this.
Yes.
Yeah.
So good. If you want to feel every emotion on the planet, read it. It's a great story. If you read Kristen Hanna, you'll know it follows her epic stories. I loved it. Loved it. Loved it. We're just going to go with that.
Following up on that is The Nightingale, but also by Kristen Hanna. Have you read that?
I have not. It's on my TBR. It is literally on my TBR. I know.
Oh my
I
gosh.
know. I'm almost afraid to, because I read this one and sobbed, and you told me you sobbed.
I'm
in The Nightingale.
appalled.
I know. So, okay, I'll pull it and move it up.
You should pull it up and move it up. I mean, it is also a tearjerker, no surprise. But
Yeah.
so good.
Okay.
So good. I mean, my octopus teacher level tears. Okay. The Frozen River by Ariel Lawhon. Didn't you read that one?
I actually am in the middle of it. I'm so mad. I had it on audiobook. I ran out of time on it, and I had to wait 9 people to get it back.
Oh.
And I get it back tomorrow. Like,
Oh.
I'm on the list tomorrow, so I'm like, yes, because I'm halfway through it. I love this book.
All right, what else? We have Lessons in Chemistry, Bonnie Garmis, The Great Alone, another Kristen Hanna. Have you read that
I
one?
have not. I've heard good things about it. Is this the one that's in Alaska?
It's set in Alaska.
Yeah.
My husband read it. Okay, men out there, our 2 male viewers, if
You
you're
can-
out there.
You can read Kristen Hanna.
He loved it. He thought it was great. Small Things Like These, Claire Keegan. The Briar Club by Kate Quinn.
This was a historical fiction book club, and it was a top of the list book for our readers in our club. Like, they loved it as a favorite book. So it's really, really good. It's different from Kate Quinn because it's set in DC during the McCarthy era versus World War II. So highly recommend.
Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins
Did you read that
Reid.
one?
Didn't read the book, watched the
Oh, that's
TV
right.
show, loved it.
Started that one. We have finished
Hot
it.
take, TV show better than the book.
Okay.
I know people are not going to like that one. Then The Berry Pickers by Amanda Peters. We have a girl here in the store, and she read this one and really enjoyed it. A good summer story. And the cover is
It's adorable.
chef's kiss perfection. And then the last one on this list,
Still shocked. Not shocked that it's on a list. Shocked of which list.
shocked. Okay, Wayward by Amelia Hart, which if you've watched any of our other videos, you know that we love this book.
Love the book.
Wouldn't have put it in historical fiction.
No, as a matter of fact, we shelve it on the sci-fi
yeah.
fantasy shelves.
I think it's
Real
I don't
magical
know.
realism.
I get why they did that, because it does have like multiple timelines.
It does.
Way in the past, a
Yeah.
little more in the past, present day.
Yeah.
But I do feel like it's, I don't know, witchy kind of leans like magic to me,
Yeah.
fantasy more so than historical fiction. But
Wherever you put it, read it.
yeah,
Just
exactly.
read it. It's so good.
Not a hill I'm going to die on.
No, it was just a surprise. We went, wait, what?
Yeah. Next category that we are going to, Goodreads 144, most read books of the year. Mystery and thriller. A lot of thoughts on this one too, because it's pretty much one author. Pretty much one author. Literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of the 12 books on Goodreads Mystery and Thriller are by Frida McFadden. So whether you love her or you hate her, everybody's reading her.
She can crank out a book, though. I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like I've at least read 3 this year that are new. And there's another one that just came out that I like her. I love the books. They are a quick read. They are smart. They are fast. There's a twist, and then there's a twist after the twist after the twist. So
Yeah. So the first one, Frida McFadden, The Crash, which you actually talked about. Yeah, that's one of the ones you read earlier
Yeah.
this year. Kind of misery
yes,
vibes, right?
Yes.
The Housemaid, The Boyfriend, The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. Not Frida McFadden, by Liz Moore.
Nope.
Also, I discussed that in our summer reads book. I loved that. It's a moody, atmospheric, kind of heavy summer camp mystery. Housemaid's Secret, Frida McFadden. The Housemaid is Watching, Frida McFadden. Never Lie, Frida McFadden. Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. That I was really surprised to see on here. Did you read that one?
No.
It came out in 2019 or something like that.
Did we do one of his books?
We did for book club.
Yes.
Not that one.
No.
But
people were talking about they liked it better, the Silent Patient better than the one we read.
it's one that people are like, this is the book that got me back into reading.
Yes.
This is the best thriller I've ever read. And because of that, whenever people say that, I just inherently am like, oh. Like,
I'm not going to read it.
I know. And so I did read it. I liked it,
Okay.
you know. But I think if you read a lot of one genre, a popular book is not necessarily going to blow you away. I think that's just
That's true.
the nature of it. The Inmate, Frida McFadden. None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell.
Not a Frida McFadden.
Not a Frida McFadden. And our book club is actually reading her new one, Don't Let Him In.
Yes.
But Lisa Jewell's another one that like people will read down her list.
I enjoy her books. I'm really I haven't started the new one yet, but I'm really looking forward to it.
It is dastardly.
Yes.
The new one, Don't Let Him In.
I cannot wait.
Capping that list with The Teacher by Frida McFadden.
That one will make you cringe because it's creepy and then the ending is twisty and then the last page there's a twist and you're like, oh, okay.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
All right. That was mystery and thriller. Now let's move on to fantasy. This was also an interesting mix. Topping the fantasy list is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. And you read that one.
I did. I really, really enjoyed this book. It was charming. It was second chances. I don't know. I enjoyed it.
This is another one, The Midnight Library, that I feel like people will come into the store and be like, this is the book that got me back into reading. And that is a big like mantle to
I
live
didn't
up
know
to.
who he was when I read it. It was just a recommendation. And I'm like, oh, I'll read this. It was good.
Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, V.E. Schwab. I know you love that book.
I do. I love that book. It is so beautifully written and the story makes you think. And I didn't want it to end. I just love the characters, good and bad.
We've got a couple of Brandon Sanderson. Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. Circe by Madeline Miller. So worthy. Such a worthy inclusion. This is another one that came out several years ago.
Yeah.
Also maybe 2019. Maybe earlier. I don't know.
It's at least 3 or 4 years old.
And
At least.
Yeah. And so it expounds upon the story of Circe from the Odyssey. And I loved it. I really enjoy mythology, but I feel like there was Circe, and then there were like a ton of other books after that trying to be Circe, and I was like, don't do that to my girl. Circe. What's up? What else on here?
I have a question. Is Circe the queen that falls in love with Aeneid?
No.
No. She's the one that keeps Odysseus on the island.
She's the witch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she turns all the people to pigs and stuff like that.
Yes.
What a lady.
I know. I like her.
Then we have Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young. Another one that we have probably talked about in like 3 or 4 videos at this point. We love it.
Just read it. You all need to read it.
This is magical realism at its finest. And in my head, I kind of equate it with Wayward. Like magic-y, which is why I was surprised to see that on historical fiction. But I'm not going to die on that hill. Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson rounds out the fantasy list. And I have not read this.
It's a pretty cover, though.
But his books are so popular.
Okay.
And I have heard that these are books that you can give to like your grandmother, you know, a like younger adult, a middle-aged adult. Like they're clean. And that is something that's really
it says on
something
the
to be said
back
for.
that it's similar to A Princess Bride.
Yeah, comp to the Princess Bride.
Yeah, so if you like that form, then this is it.
Yeah. Next on the Goodreads list is Romantasy. Bum, bum, bum. If you're new here, we don't really read that. And I personally struggle a lot with that. So let's see what we have. Literally none of this will be a surprise, for better or for worse for you. First top 3 spots are taken by Rebecca Yarros, the Fourth Wing series, Dragons, Romantasy, Enemies to Lovers. People will like die for these books. This is like today's, I feel like Harry Potter, where people are like midnight release parties and dragons.
I actually really want to read this series, but because of us doing so much in the store and with book clubs, it's a series. And I feel like once I read this series, once I read the first one, I'm going to read all of them, and they're all they're all a little on the wordy side.
I feel like this is the Romantasy hallmark. You know, your book has to be like 500 pages.
Yeah.
Or the fans are not going to be invested.
Yeah.
And
so someday.
Yeah. Speaking of 500 pages, the next several slots are taken by Sarah J. Maas, Court of Thorns and Roses series. That's another one that has like, I don't know, 7 or
I don't know, too many.
8 books. Yeah, a lot of books.
Yeah.
And she's also got all these other series that have multiple books in them. Yeah. Fairies and things like that. But like, I say fairies and the fantasy people are like, they're not like little fairies. But that is
they
what...
have bows and arrows.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
You know, they're cool.
I think they're fighting fairies. I don't know. One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. That is one of our Fantasy Book Club's previous picks and our leader's favorite book, like, of all time. And we just read Rachel Gillig's new release, The Night and the Moth.
Is it a sequel to this one or no?
No.
Okay.
Separate duology.
Okay.
A couple others on here. The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. And the last one on the list is The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, also by Carissa Broadbent. Next, we have science fiction. And I had a lot of thoughts about this too.
Yeah.
You'll see as we get into it, there are a lot of classics in here.
Yes.
And I felt like, is that because the classics are so enduring?
Mm-hmm.
Or because people just aren't writing great science fiction now? Like, I wonder,
go both ways.
Yeah, you tell us what you think after you hear the list. So first is I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Harpman. Then second is Hail Mary by Andy Weir. And I typically really like Andy Weir's books. Hail Mary was not my favorite, but I think that's the one they're making into a movie with Ryan Gosling. So might be my new favorite. No, I'm just kidding.
Ryan Gosling. I'll watch it.
I will watch it. He wrote The Martian, and that book, I loved The Martian book. Okay. And the movie was good too, but I loved the book. Then there's Animal Farm by George Orwell, which I'm sure everybody's familiar with, 1984 by George Orwell. Skipping down, The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. Not for me.
I read it. I'm going to say I read it. I got to the end and I was like, oh, I read that. Okay.
Yeah.
Did not watch the series at all. Didn't even try.
No. The Measure by Nikki Ehrlich. That's another one that several subscribers were like, you should add this to your TBR. So I'm excited to read that one. And then number 9, it should not be number 9, Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. So good. This, speaking of books that got people into reading, this is the book that I gave my husband, and I was like, you would really like this. And it like got him into reading as an adult. And I sell this to so many men in the store. Oh, okay. And I mean, I read it and I loved it as a female. Yeah.
Have you watched? I don't have Apple anything.
I don't have Apple TV either.
So I didn't know. Yeah. I don't know if it's a TV show, series.
I think it's
a miniseries,
TV show.
Okay.
But I haven't seen it. But the book's better.
Always.
All of his books I really enjoy, and they are not too science fiction to where you're bogged down in like details or math or anything, which is really can happen in the genre. But the characters are really well done, and the stories are really like. Highly recommend Blake Crouch. Dark Matter is great. Okay. Fahrenheit 451, Ray Bradbury, another classic. See, is this saying something about contemporary science fiction? Rounding out the list, All Systems Read by Martha Wells. Now we're moving on to horror. First on the list, We Used to Live Here by Marcus Kluwer. I hope I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
Second, Hidden Pictures by Jason Rekulak. I hope I'm saying that right. I read this. It's fabulous, and I feel like it's really rare. I do read quite a bit of horror. I feel like it's really rare to read a horror book that has heart. Stick with me. You know, like, it wasn't just like blood and guts and like no plot. Like it had a plot, and you felt for the characters, and the ending was really good. And this is one that we sell a ton of in the store. No surprise to see it so high on the list. But also, he wrote another book. This is just food for thought. And it falls a little bit more thriller. It's called The Last One at the Wedding or something very close to that. And
I didn't know that was him. Okay.
It's not horror. I think it falls more thriller. And it is excellent. Another one where I loved, and I feel like people aren't giving that one enough of a shot because they're comparing it to this one, but
Oh.
it's so different.
Okay.
Highly recommend that
It's
one.
on my TBR. I'm going to pull that one up a little higher. because
It's really good.
That looked really good.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see what else is on here. Frankenstein, Mary Shelley.
Oh, so good.
Surprised to see that, but
Yes.
and another one that's like not blood and guts, you know, like
It's
not what
not.
you think. I feel like Frankenstein is very sad, honestly.
Oh, it's very sad.
Yeah.
It is nothing like any movie version I've ever seen.
Mm-mm.
It is tragic.
And just very tragic, you know, the like concept of creating life
Mhm.
and your relationship with your creator. I
Mhm.
think there are some very serious biblical like allegories
I agree.
in Frankenstein, whether Mary Shelley intended that or not.
I enjoyed the book, but I was surprised by
Mhm.
it. So I am surprised it's a horror, and I'm surprised it's on the list of the top 144.
Yeah, they didn't make a classics list, which maybe
No.
would have shifted a lot of
This is
these
true.
titles around,
This
but
is true.
I don't know. Home Before Dark, also on here, Riley Sager. Another one that I'm like,
Really?
this is horror? Yeah. Okay. Goodreads.
Okay, because it's about the House of Horrors in
Right.
a way, but it's not a horror book.
No.
I mean, it has a ghosty feel,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't say horror.
I think it's definitely mystery thriller. I personally,
I loved
mystery
it.
thriller.
It's a really great
Mhm.
read, but
It's
I
good.
would not have put it in the horror. I would say thriller.
yeah.
So.
If you want a thriller that has like a spooky edge to it, it would be this.
Yes.
I would never consider it horror. Dracula by Bram Stoker.
love
Love
this book.
Dracula.
Love.
So good.
Love its book. It's a romance. I'm just gonna go out on a
Yes.
limb and
Epistolary
confuse-
romance.
Yes, I mean yes, epistolary,
Mhm.
and I think that's another thing. It's different.
Hmm.
It makes it very different, and yes, I think Dracula is
This
romantic.
would be one that we could read and discuss like a whole episode on.
Yes.
Love Dracula.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, buckle up. Literally the scariest book that I have read in a super
Okay.
long time. Incidents Around the House by Josh Mallerman.
I'm afraid to hold it now. It's just that
Ooh.
scary.
Oh my gosh. It is told from a child's point of view,
That explains
stream
it.
of consciousness style.
Oh.
So it is rather heavy,
Okay.
but I can like envision a scene in it, and it was so scary.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. And so on the very first page, it's like this girl, and she is, oh, so spooky. She
Okay.
is talking about this person, and then you find out that the person's name is Other Mommy, and Other Mommy like lives in her closet and always asks her, yeah, can I come into your heart? And it is like,
Oh.
ugh, it's chilling, but I did really enjoy it. It's very different, very unique. If you want something scary, highly recommend.
Okay.
Last on the horror list is Holly by Stephen King. I've heard people really like it. I have a lot of opinions on Stephen King. I have a lot of opinions on a lot of things. Stephen King is up there. He couldn't care less what my opinions are, but I've heard that this is really good, that Holly is really good. And his newer ones are building off this character, Holly Gibney, who is actually introduced in the Mr. Mercedes trilogy. So there's like a lot of connectivity there.
I really wanted to read Holly when it came out, but then I heard she was a character from another series. So I
yeah,
was
she's like
okay.
introduced.
I was like, so should I read the others first? Because I have not read Stephen King ever. He terrified.
Ever? Never?
No, I've watched several movie versions and I love them, but I've never read him. I had a friend in high school that she read him, and she'd always end up sleeping with me when we'd spend the night together. And I'm like, I can't read that. If she has to sleep with me, then I don't want to read it.
You don't need to sleep with somebody. You can sleep on your own.
So now I'm like, okay, I'm a big girl now. I can read these.
Yeah. I really love Salem's Lot. I like the classic Stephen King. Like
Okay, I heard
Salem's
he's changed.
Lot. Yes.
And this is where your opinions come in.
This is where my opinions come in. We don't have time for that. Romance. Gina and I are not particularly romance readers, so we will
I'm just
go.
dipping my toe in, remember?
Yes. Yeah. She's trying.
I'm trying.
So top of the list is Deep End by Allie Hazelwood, and we follow another booktuber. Who like romance is very popular on
Yeah.
BookTube. A lot of Abby Jimenez titles. Last one on the list is 7 Year Slip by Ashley Poston. Told you we would go through this quickly. Young adult, another. I don't read much young adult. You don't really read much young adult, do you?
Every once in a while, something comes across that it's a young adult. Like I love the Caraval series. I have read a few other hit and miss books. Usually it's an author that I find in adult that has written young
Yeah.
adult, and I'll go back and read something. But I don't typically read young adult. There's some really good ones out there.
Yeah. We have girls in the store here who they
Yeah.
read pretty heavily young adult.
Yes.
Number 1 on the list is Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins, the newest book in the Hunger Games.
Which I did read the Hunger Games.
Yeah, I read the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
And then there's the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas, which I thought this was a controversial addition because they reclassed these as adult books. They used to be young adult with totally different covers.
Yes.
But I think for appropriateness level, they changed it. Cannot speak to that personally. Again,
and I
don't really read
I
that.
think some of the ones that I have read that were considered young adult have now been reclassified
really?
and put in adult. And I understand why.
Yeah.
I'm with
So
you there.
Sarah J. Maas.
Yep.
Pretty much young
And
adult.
And Hunger Games, like between the two of them.
Yeah, exactly. Speeding right along here to Memoirs. On this list, they do have some interesting people. Number 1, The House of My Mother by Sherry Frankie. Am I saying that right?
Yes.
You would know more about that
Yes.
than me.
Yes. So if anybody watched any of the Ruby Frankie docuseries, Datelines 2020s, she was an influencer on YouTube or wherever, and TikTok. I don't do the TikTok as the old people like to say.
The TikTok.
But she was a parenting guru who had found out that she was basically torturing her children. And so this Sherry is an older child of the kids and had gone to the police and the authorities multiple times and didn't get anywhere. And she is now telling her story. And she has been involved in a couple of the docuseries. So if you've watched it, you'll know who she is. I actually would like to read this just because I followed the Ruby Frankie.
Yeah, you should read it. I don't want to read this, but I would be curious to hear what you thought.
Yeah,
of it.
it's an interesting tale because she was, making money off of her being an influencer for parenting style.
Yeah. Is she the one who chained her kids up?
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, out in the hot desert in the middle of like Utah with no food and water and like 100-degree weather. Yeah.
Okay. Moving on.
Yes.
Educated by Tara Westover. That's another one that has been around for a long time and just enduring, I guess. The Britney Spears memoir, The Woman in Me. Wow.
No.
That I was surprised that was on there, but probably very interesting. Other celebrities, Friends, Lovers, and The Big Terrible Thing by Matthew Perry. I was not a Friends person, so
I was. Yeah. So I don't know if I could read that because I was such a Friends fan, and he seemed like a gentle spirit. I just feel like that's a sad tale. I don't know.
Yeah,
if I could read
that is
one.
a very sad.
Yeah.
Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey. You probably got to listen to that one on audio. That would be
like Mateo. All right.
That would be a good one. All right, so that was the last one on the memoir list. Now we're getting into my favorite sections. History and biography. First one is Everything is Tuberculosis by John Green, who is an Indiana author. Second, The Wager by David Gran, who also wrote Killers of the Flower Moon. And Killers of the Flower Moon is on here. It's later on down the list. I loved that book.
I agree. That was an excellent read.
It was so good. It blew me away. Like we picked it for our mystery book club, like knowing it was true crime. But I was like, his writing was fabulous. Yes. And then it came out as a movie and Leonardo DiCaprio was in it and it was Martin Scorsese. I was like super excited. And we got like 10 minutes in and I was like, I got to turn this off.
I didn't watch it. I just decided the book was so good and so well done. And I like Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm the first to admit.
Oh, yeah.
He's usually a really good actor and really good. I don't know. I just wanted to hold on to every historical thing that I learned from this book and be like, I don't need to see that.
And the pacing was very different. So anyways.
Yeah.
maybe we just didn't get the movie. I don't know.
I didn't even try. So at least you tried.
Yeah, maybe I didn't get it. That's very possible. Say Nothing by Patrick Radden Keefe. That is on my TBR. It's about a kidnapping and like murder in Northern Ireland with IRA time frame, and I think that sounds really good. The Radium Girls, The Dark Story of America's Shining Women by Kate Moore.
So many friends that have read this recently. I don't know why it's popped because it's not a new one either.
No, it's not.
It's been around a hot minute, and so I've all of a sudden it's been like, oh, have you read this one? How have you not read this one?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. That's going to be on my list.
It sounds really good. A fascinating story. Then there are several Eric Larson titles on here. The Demon of Unrest is his newest. It's about Fort Sumter. And then Devil in the White City by Eric Larson. And
my pile is still on the floor.
I really enjoy Eric Larson.
Yeah.
I like a lot of his backlist. I did not read The Demon of Unrest. The Devil in the White City, that people love that. People will like die for that book. And I feel like that was one of his drier ones. I always recommend Dead Wake. I loved that book about the Lusitania.
Oh.
And Isaac Storm about, I think it was the 1900 Galveston hurricane. That was so good.
Okay.
Excellent narrative nonfiction. And then in keeping with narrative nonfiction, the last book on the list is Into the Wild by Jon Krakauer. And people notice it's not Into the Wild. People also love Into the Wild, and I didn't like the subject matter of that book. Christopher McCandless, you know, that's a really rough story. The guy who like sells all his belongings and he like burns his wallet, very like, you know, eschewing modern trappings, and he lives in the bus in Alaska. Remember that?
Yeah.
And,
yes.
And he passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Into Thin Air is my favorite Jon Krakauer.
Okay.
And it is about an Everest expedition that Jon Krakauer actually went on. And this reads like a thriller. I mean, I was like turning the pages so quickly. I love this book, and I love to recommend this to people.
Okay.
I could talk about it all day. It's also got a movie, and it's pretty good.
Really?
Then last category, we're almost done. General nonfiction. The first one is The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. I don't really know much about that, but
there's some controversy with that one. We'll just go with that.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Anxious Generation by Jonathan Haidt. One of the girls here in the store read this and loved it. It's about the effect of social media and technology on the young brain and young generations, and that is very concerning right now. So, If You Tell, a true story of murder, family secrets, and the unbreakable bond of sisterhood by Greg Olson. That sounds like one you would like.
The title alone made me want to read it.
The Art Thief by Michael Finkel. One of our subscribers recommended this, and that is like definitively, I'm going to read that one. It
that
sounds
looks really good too.
So good. And it's got a good cover of like, half of it is a bat, and then half of it is some like painting of somebody being like, oh, and it looks really good. So the last one on the general nonfiction is The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk. And I have also heard that that is a really worthwhile read. Probably going to scare you into eating healthy and stuff like that. So that's a good thing.
This was an interesting list. There were a few on here that, like you and I talked about in the categories they were. Like, okay, maybe I would have recategorized.
Yeah.
There was a few that I would have liked to have put on the list. I think, but it's the ones that are being read the most. It's not necessarily like winners of awards.
Yeah.
What did you think? Let us know. Have you read them? Did you like them? Would you change them?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the Goodreads list? Do you feel like it was accurate, or no? Do you feel like, no, people aren't really reading those books? Because there are some books on here that I feel like, are people reading that? This is my tinfoil hat. Are people reading it? Or like, was this just an addition to make a statement? I don't know.
So this was an interesting walk through the half of the year.
Half of the year, yeah. We wanted to get this done soon.
We appreciate you guys coming along this little journey today. If you are interested in this list, go to Goodreads and you can find the 144, all of them in their rankings, in their categories. If you would like to purchase any of them through us, we will have a link to the bookshop, Naughty Dog Books. And if you would please like and subscribe so that you can find us every Friday and throughout the week as we drop shorts. So thank you again for coming along this journey. This is Best in Show Books. I'm Gina.
And I'm Shelby.
Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.